Good afternoon. I'm going to spend the next 15 to 20 minutes talking to you about the journey we've gone on at Dow Jones and also at News UK from subscription through to membership. Before I do that, though, there's three things I'd like to share, three things I have to confess. The first being, I'm not Katie Van Eck Smith, who in most of the programs I've seen is the name that's meant to be standing on stage now. Katie is Chief Customer Officer for Dow Jones. She's my boss, and she's had to be in New York today and sends her apologies. When she said to me last week, as your boss I'm sure has done to you, can you cover me in something? I can't get there. You go, sure. And she said, I've got to talk to some magazine specialists, and I'm going to talk about membership. It's fine. Do I need to write a presentation? And she looks at me and says, no, have the presentation, that's written. Great, it's going to be easy. Advertising agency have written the presentation, she says. So, okay. All the words on there, all the numbers on there? Not exactly, she said, minimalist. But don't worry, I've worked with them on a script. So all you've got to do is read the script. It's fine. And it's something I know about. I've worked around membership at Dow Jones and at News UK, so it's fine. But I'll share the first line of the script with you. It goes, I love my customers. It's fine, I love my customers. In my 20 years as a newspaper executive, yep, I'm 18, so it's near enough, and as a woman, at that point, I'm reading the rest of it, and I've had to rewrite most of it. So what I will do, I'll deliver the essence of what Katie was going to do, but you'll have to take it from my point of view rather than the personal anecdotes she was writing through the speech. The second thing I'd like to share, global conference, lots of global businesses. It's nice to see so many people in a room sharing, collaborating, educating each other. Dow Jones, global business, we operate in about 88 offices. I was in our Barcelona office last week. We do a lot of our business-to-business content generation there. It's a team of people, minimum level of 3 languages they have to be fluent in. Average is about 5. I was meeting people who are fluent in 9 or 10 languages. Very eye-opening. You forget being British, which I am, and being English, which is worse, as I don't speak any other language, the role of language in international business and global business. And our translators at the back who do a fine job to get an English person across to a foreign audience in real time. So thank you for making my life easier. The third thing is that I'm a newspaper person. And in having said that, I've just dated myself to being not a millennial, a bit older than that, and someone who likes print. Interesting yesterday, thinking through and hearing how magazine companies aren't magazine companies. They're quality content providers. Newspapers, that's me, but again, it's snappier to say newspaper man than quality news and content, news and business, news and information. Shorthand for me. But it's very similar. What we're trying to do in the newspaper industry is exactly the same as what you're trying to do in the magazine industry. It's quality content, it's curated content, it's tapping into passion, it's building relationships with audiences, hopefully contractual relationships, revenue-driving relationships, and then monetizing that relationship, monetizing that audience with advertisers and additional revenue streams. We're all in the same game. It's just I prefer that size and daily rather than weekly or monthly. But we're in exactly the same business. My first advertising agency slide. The world of media is always in flux. So the big themes for me that have come out of the sessions I've seen. 6 billion phones globally, only 4.5 billion people with access to running water. Smartphones being checked 100 times a day. I was thinking about that this morning. I like an average. I reckon I'm checking mine nearly 100 times an hour. So someone out there is checking theirs once every 100 hours, which probably means they're on an iPhone, never using it. It's the only way you can get an iPhone to last 100 hours. 8-second attention span. That's not long. It's not long at all. I don't know if the goldfish span is 9 seconds or not, but it's a good line if it is. But 8 seconds. We're all competing for the attention of people who don't really want to give us attention. They don't have much time in their lives. They're either on their phone 100 times an hour, 100 times a day, 100 times a week, doesn't matter what it is. They're distracted. Cutting through as a brand, engaging that audience and building the relationship with the audience is getting harder and harder and harder. Other things that I'm taking out of the conference so far in terms of themes. Global, we need to think global. We need to be mobile first, customer first, mobile customer first, platform agnostic. We've got to be data first and data driven. We like millennials, they're the future. We don't understand millennials. We don't know what they do. We don't know how we're going to get them to pay for anything. We don't know what the generation after millennials will pay for, but we're hoping because they pay for Netflix and Spotify, they'll pay for us. Print is dead. We should switch everybody to digital. Print revenues are growing, and they're profitable. Print revenues are still there, but they're fading, declining. If you get a passionate audience and the right audience in print with the right advertiser, you can do some great native advertising in print. Is print alive? Is print dead? In our world, it's absolutely alive. We have a choice to make. Our customers have a choice to make. Whichever platform they like will be there for them. We think there's a big future in print still. Every time you look at these problems, and you can go on, we've got cultural change. We need to change all of our organizational structures to meet. We need to buy digital. We need to grow digital. Everything's in flux. You never solve any of these problems. There's no right answers. There's no wrong answers either. Everything's just up in the air. The only constant we've got is our customers. We don't have a business without them. Doesn't matter what's going on, we still have to focus on the customer. And our mission at Dow Jones currently is to put the customer at the heart of everything we do. We want to be customer-led, the start of every process, whether it's platform-related, distribution-related, content-related, brand-related, doesn't matter. We start with a customer. And that's a mission that's come through the introduction of a new chief executive, Will Lewis, last year, and then Katie joining just over a year ago. We don't just say it, we do it. So we've launched within Dow Jones the Customer Knowledge Program. So my lengthy job title, Customer Knowledge, Insight, Analytics, the heart of it, I'm building a team of people whose job it is to understand the customer wherever they touch any of our brands. And we've got a lot of brands. We've got a B2C side, Wall Street Journal, MarketWatch and Barron's. We've got a business-to-business side. We've got Factiva, products like risk and compliance, and about 150-odd small, niche, vertical B2B products. So we have a lot of customers, and we're global, and we're print, and we're digital. So understanding those customers wherever they are is a challenge, and we're building that knowledge internally at the moment. The Customer Knowledge Program was launched in April. Its objective is to educate, energize, and inform all the staff around Dow Jones in all of our offices about the customer. So we have 10 key offices globally, and I'm spending a lot of time on planes at the moment, going to the offices and taking people through face-to-face different elements of our customer knowledge. First one, Wall Street Journal. We've done a customer segmentation. I've done that presentation now in about 7 different countries. It's easy saying putting the customer at the heart. You've actually got to deliver it. You've got to be there talking to your staff and getting them interested in the customer and telling them how that information matters. Because without that, it's wallpaper. You've got to engage your own staff, and we've got 5,000 staff. So we do a lot of video conferencing as well. But we have a team of people now whose mission is to get, across the business, education levels raised. Back to subscription. So before I talk about membership, I'd like to do a little bit of history on how we've got to where we are with our subscription businesses on the Wall Street Journal and on the Times. So if I can do a little bit of history, if I can take you back to 1785, 230 years ago. In London, the Daily Universal Register launches. So this is within a decade of American independence. It's 50 years before the Act of Union in Canada. 3 years after that, 1788, it relaunches itself as the Times, which I think is probably the first media pivot. 1788, Times launches. So that's 225 odd years. That's a long-running brand. Fast forward to 1889, the Wall Street Journal launches. So we're 125 years into the journal. 1921, Daily Telegraph in the UK launches the first cover price war. Cover price wars aren't new. Telegraph overtakes the Times, stays there, and is still ahead in print sales in the UK. Let's take ourselves through to 1968. The Wall Street Journal in 1968 launches print subscription. So we've had print subscribers for nearly 50 years. It's a long time, you'd think, to learn about them. 1993, Times launches a cover price war against the Telegraph. 1994, as a retaliation, the Telegraph launches their print subscription scheme. The Times thinks, yeah, we need one of those, launches a print subscription scheme. So at that point, we've got Times and the Wall Street Journal as print subscription businesses. 1995, Times Online goes live. Similar time, Wall Street Journal online goes live, but behind a paywall. Times is free, Journal's paid for. Then it gets more interesting. 2008, the Times digitally is struggling. It's getting some traction, but not masses. We launched something called Culture Plus, which is our first attempt at turning subscription into membership. 2010, Times goes behind a hard paywall, running off the back of the launch of the iPad. iPad comes out, Times is in the iPad as a launch partner. We lock down our digital content. So at that point in 2010, we've got both brands, print and digital subscription businesses. 2010, we then rebrand Culture Plus to Times Plus. 2014, we launched WSJ Plus. Earlier this year, we take that global. So we're at the point now, going back to 2008, where we've got two businesses. Should have lots of data on their subscribers. One's locked down digitally, one isn't, but they catch up. So at that point in time, we've got two locked down subscription businesses. And the question we were thinking at the time was, okay, we have a database. It's got our subscribers' names on them. Now, I wasn't at the Journal then, but I understand from what I hear, the relationship they had with their subscribers was one piece of annual communication. And that was when we sent them their bill for the next year. And that's when we told them what the price was going to be for the next year. And that's when we asked them to pay more. Times wasn't quite so bad. There was more in-life communications, but actually all they were brochures asking them to buy Times branded stuff and partners. So it's an additional revenue source. It was a catalogue. Katie was charged with looking at the way we deal with our subscribers back in 2008. She looked at the whole landscape, and she was fairly committed from the start, as were the executive team at News then, that we had to think about subscription differently. So we talk about membership. What do we mean now by membership? So membership is a paid-for proposition. It needs to drive affinity, and out of affinity, it needs to drive advocacy. At its heart, I want a paid-for relationship with my subscriber, but I want them to feel like a member, and I want to turn them into an advocate. I want them to sell our subscriptions for us because they feel valued and they understand the benefits. 3 pillars, or 3 circles, just pretend they're pillars, sit behind membership. It's a relationship, not a transaction, and that's key. We're trying to build enduring, long-lasting relationships with our members. This isn't flash in the pan, this is about lifetime value. It's about us getting to know them and them getting to know us. Because we're talking about membership, it means we can think about it differently, think about the relationship differently, think about the value exchange differently. We can put more things into the mix. It's not just about the print copy or the app or the web. That's taken as a basic. It's about the extra value we can put on top. The middle pillar, things we put in, they have to be premium. We're a premium brand on both sides. They've got to be valuable. I want you to pay for it. If it's a paid-for proposition, you've got to see that value. You've got to agree with me that it's valuable. The good thing about that is if I can persuade a premium audience to engage in a contractual membership relationship, I can do some smart things around advertising solutions. It's a two-way thing. They're premium, but we can do a premium sell when we understand them. And pride. This was best summed up in terms of we're trying to create a club where everybody who's there feels comfortable. They feel comfortable with the brand, with the experience, and with the people that they're there with. Shared attitudes, shared values. Just as an aside, I was thinking about this morning. If you rewind 20 years ago to the era of print, you'd sit there, you'd see the person opposite you, they'd have a newspaper, and you'd instantly have an image in your head of what they were like. So in the UK, Times people, different from Daily Mail people. Daily Mail, different from The Sun. You have that image in your head, and you wore your newspaper with like a badge of pride. Digitally, you don't see that. We've lost that brand presence. You're on a phone, you're on a tablet, or you're at home on a desktop. There's no badge value. It's still there emotionally, latently. Key for us, in terms of getting a membership proposition across, was tapping into that emotional loyalty to the brand. This is a chart with 1 bar on. It's close. Okay, I'll talk you through this. So, 2008 in the UK on the Times, we launched Culture Plus. This is our first attempt to grow something out of subscription and towards membership. We had about 100,000 subscribers in 2008. By 2013, we were up to 320,000, so we trebled it. Culture Plus at its heart was a series of discounts, offers, and events, and it was branded as a club. We rebranded it in 2010. What we found afterwards, probably 2 or 3 years of running this, and I'll talk you through the chart, if we could get you engaged in Times Plus, your churn rate was 8%. If we couldn't get you engaged in Times Plus as a digital customer, your churn rate was 48%. So it helped retention massively. But we had to get the offers right. We had to get the package right. At its heart, we were trying to create a world-class proposition, world-class content with a world-class brand, trying to get world-class members. Multiple contacts helps retention. Engagement helps retention. Wall Street Journal Plus. So we launched WSJ Plus in 2014. And the proposition is very simple. Again, it's a membership proposition. As part of your membership, you get access to standard offers and discounts. Then you get curated offers and discounts. We've done deals with HarperCollins for free ebooks, and ebooks targeted around content passions that we know our audience have. With Evernote as a business tool. We run events and experiences about bringing the brand to life. The chef table there was a sold-out event. We do WSJ Talks, where we take our key editorial talent and we invite people to come and listen to them. Our best-selling one last year was with Paul Gigot, who heads up the opinion pages on the Wall Street Journal, Pulitzer Prize winning. I've been fortunate to spend some time with him. He is an amazing individual to spend time with. If you ever get the opportunity, he's the rock star of journalism. Amazing man. So we had a lot of people attend the Paul Gigot talk. We've done 54 events over the last 12 months, globally, in about 8 or 9 different cities. We're expanding it out next year. Susie Watford, our Chief Marketing Officer for the Journal, has an ambition to meet all of her subscribers in New York in person in the next 3 years. That's a very, very lofty ambition. So far on WSJ Plus, we've met 30,000 people face to face. So we're getting there. We're building it. It's taking legs. And if that moves, I'll let them tell you about it.
I think the opportunity to hear from reporters what their personal experiences were in terms of what was important to them was really great, and just kind of seeing where all the action is was fun.
I thought it was terrific. I mean, I thought it was really admirable that the Journal sort of wants to reach out to its audience and I guess get your public or your readership more engaged in the paper.
Their war stories, if you will, I think are very meaningful, and what it takes to put a news article together. And what appeals to me so much about reading the Journal is the in-depth nature of the stories.
To me, this was an experience like going to a great restaurant and having the chef take you back behind the scenes and help you understand how this great experience comes together. Tonight, we got to see how the chef makes the food. In this case, though, it was the great reporters and editors who serve up a great newspaper every day.
How often are you going to be 10 feet away from Sting? It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
To be in such a small, intimate audience, to be that close to Sting, to hear him talk and joke around.
This is possibly one of the coolest things I've ever been to.
They're very informative, you get to meet other people, good networking, and usually always great content.
You can go to any cocktail party, but this is unique.
The variety of the events is terrific. So they're cultural, they're political.
I mean, it makes it almost like you're paying me to get the paper, because the amount of money I pay for the paper every month is far less than the value I get out of the program and all the events that I've been able to participate in.
I will definitely be at the next WSJ Plus event.
They're all real people. They care. They like us, and we like them. They're an enthusiastic crowd, and if you're at one of the events, it's like seeing a big family get-together. Slightly odd, but very nice. And they don't know each other, but they have a lot in common. They have the brand in common, they have the experience in common. Quick word on WSJ Pro. So we have B2C, Barron's, MarketWatch, and the Journal. We have B2B, Factiva, and the rest of the products. And we have B2P, business to professional, sat in the middle. As the work and leisure, life and line blurs, we have a lot of content across all of our business. that we can focus very narrowly on an individual professional. And we are creating a series of pro products aimed at you and your job. These products will help you. There'll be insight, it's analysis, it's tools to help you do your jobs better, but in very niche ways. So central banking is the first product we've launched. We're not going to sell hundreds of thousands, but they're quite highly priced. It sits in the middle between a corporate world and an individual world. But it's all bound together by the fact that we can help you get further in your career. There's a practical benefit to being a pro customer. And we're going to do something around pro and get them into the world of plus as well. Because again, they're members, they're not subscribers. It's deeper than that. The money bit. So this all sounds great, but we're a business. Dow Jones is a big business. We have revenue targets. We have owners who are all over the numbers forensically. We're family owned. You might have heard of them. We have to also grow value. Anyone can grow a membership scheme. You discount it. $1 a month, $1 for 3 months. You can get volume in, but that's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to get the right people in because they stay. They're much more likely to stay. We don't want the wrong people. We want the right one. And there's 3 pillars. Again, imagine they're pillars. If we can drive ongoing engagement, our members will stay. If they like it and they're advocates of ours, they can help grow it for us. We're doing a lot of real-time data and a real-time content surfacing and offer surfacing when people are engaging with us on the sites. Data-driven, customer-led. We're learning what they like. We surface more of what they like as well. Retaining exclusivity. It's a balancing act. If you lock everything away, then you don't get anyone trying it. You have to release some of it, and that's got a double-edged thing of you release some, makes the premium content look more worthwhile. So we're looking at different ways of doing paywalls at the moment, how we can release some content, how our members can release some content, bringing their friends, families, help them grow our business. And we're looking at partnerships, additional revenue streams. We're talking to a lot of brands at the moment, looking at partnerships which can drive better acquisition, better prospecting, better experiences for our members as part of the Plus program. We're also looking just brand stretches. Where can we go with this and who can we partner globally? I'll leave you with one thought. We're passionate about membership. In a world where people don't have much time, but you've got a strong brand and you've got a relationship with them, if you don't, my view, if you don't build that relationship from subscriber, transactional, to member with passion, somebody else will do. And we're all fighting for the same headspace and the same customers. I'll leave you that thought. Thank you. Two minutes.
Okay, Craig will take a question or two if there are any. So raise your hand. I think we all know by now how this works. So just a quick wave of the arm will secure you your question. No, I think you... No? No, there we are. Gentleman there. Can we just do a quick chuck in that direction, please? It's a long throw.
It's a very long throw.
There you are, team effort.
Where do you talk? Hello?
Yeah, that's it.
I just was wondering if you could talk more about how you convert subscribers to members, or if people skip the subscription and go right to membership, how that whole thing works.
Okay, so we have communications in place when people join, where we highlight, so in the first 30 days, I think there's about 10 different communication points with them. 3 of them we talk about WSJ Plus and the benefits of activating their membership. They're not forced into it, but we do sell the benefits, and the value should outweigh the cost of the overall subscription. So that's for our newly acquired people. And we hammer that message home in a smart way. We don't hammer it home, but we deliver it consistently in a loud way, because it is a good package, and we want them to be part of it. For people who are already subscribers, they're automatically enrolled, but they have to register. And again, we sell the benefits to them. And we talk to them the Friday email that goes out every week, which is tailored to specific offers of that week, discounts, experiences, and talks. So we're flagging it with people continually. We're at probably 30%-ish activation. That's a big 6-figure number in our world, so it's sizable. But we're working on it. We're a year in. It took the Times 4 years to get to 90% awareness, let alone take up.
Okay, can I ask you please to thank Craig? Thank you.